Boundless Authenticity Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the Boundless Authenticity Podcast. If you love Boundless Authenticity and want to keep the conversations flowing, the first thing you need to do is like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Tonight, I'm joined by JClay, a spiritual rap artist and one of the leading voices in the spiritual hip-hop movement. With a background as both a NASA engineer and music producer, his songs carry the precision of a scientist and the heart of a healer. Every lyric he writes is intentional, designed to raise consciousness, release fear, and bring listeners back to peace. JClay's critically celebrated debut album, I Am Nobody, I Am Someone, is widely regarded as a healing tool, with listeners reporting breakthroughs in mental health just by playing it on repeat. His live performances bring audiences to tears, not because of sadness, but because they finally feel seen, heard, and free. His new single, Humble Yourself, continues his mission to heal through music, using powerful lyricism and spiritual insight to reveal the truth behind what it really means to humble oneself in the presence of the divine. How's it going?
It's going great, man. Thank you. Thank you for the intro. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, fascinating stuff. You got a shout out to Ali, who sent me this email and hooked us up. Yeah. This is some interesting stuff you're putting out there. So, I mean, first and foremost, everybody that listens to the show knows I am a musician myself. I haven't been in the industry for a while because of, the stuff that goes on in it. And it's real hard to make a living and have integrity and try to not get too negative out there, like there's a lot of the substance of the music is just negative.
Yeah.
And so, I don't even really listen to much, but I listened to your stuff and I was like, wow, dude's on top of something.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
How'd you go from being NASA scientist to this?
How I got into the NASA work and all of that is, I probably should have never been there to begin with. I always knew I wanted to do music. There was always music, but because I was good academically, everybody like, you should go into math and science. You can do music as a backup. I listened and I was like, well, yeah, that makes sense. I can get the money and do this on the side. So I spent a lot of years having the day job and then at night and weekends, just going out, promoting, doing inner city tours and things, and just, as they would say, grinding. And it was tiresome. I hated work at the time. Like I was like, well, I got to go here. It sucks. But I ended up being there for 14 years. And when I kind of had my spiritual breakthrough, it came through with A Course in Miracles. I'm not sure if people have heard of that, but it's a powerful book that's like, I describe it as the best. Every line is like the best rap lyric you ever heard, or just the best song lyric, just beautifully, perfectly. And I started doing that. I registered with, like, it resonated with me. I tested it out for myself to see if these theories were sound. It sounded sound, but I wanted to know for myself it was really true. It changed my life, changed the type of music I made. So like that 14th year when I was at NASA, I said, you know what? I got to do things differently. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I started going to work happy. I started just doing my work better with a better positive attitude. I was mentoring the young people there because I wasn't the young one there anymore, and just doing what I could. And the stars kind of aligned for me to finally quit my job. And so but the whole time I was always doing music. It's just the intention of the music changed when I had my spiritual breakthrough.
What do you see out there in the world that you're really focusing on trying to get people to change in themselves so that it changes in the world?
So one of the big things is that the world is not really there. Like it is, but it isn't. It's more of a reflection. It's more, but almost like a past reflection. Like what you see in your mind is more powerful than what you see out there, even though out there is more of a projection with what's in your mind. And what I mean is, like, we've given everything meaning. Like you could just say everything is meaningless. We've given a meaning. We said what a cup means. Somebody may have told us the definition, but we associated certain words and phrases with certain meanings in our heads. And so we play those out when we're confronted with certain situations. We play out the definitions that are in our heads. So, for example, if you are a person that's afraid of snakes, and you come across a bunch of snakes, you're probably going to react in fear. You're going to run. You're going to tremble, something. I don't know. But if you love snakes, if you think snakes are beautiful animals in the world, you come across a bunch of snakes, you might like, oh, come here and pet a snake. But it doesn't say that one belief is right or wrong, but you're seeing the world through the eyes of your beliefs. And so it's more so aligning your beliefs with what you want to think. Like everything has a cause and its effect, but we're letting the effects be the cause, and life was never meant to be that way. So the most important thing is to take control of your thoughts, like realize what you're thinking, realize what you're putting out into the world, because that what you put out into the world, you're going to see and interact with it in the world, whether it's true or not.
Who are your fans? Who are you targeting? What do you want them to, how do you want them to meet you in the space that you're at?
Yeah, very simply, one song at a time. So all of my songs are based on some real life situation or problem, or just things that I observe, not only in others, but in myself. I cannot say this enough. My music has helped me probably more than it's helped anybody, which is crazy because I'm the one writing it, but it just shows that perhaps I'm channeling pieces of it. But the target audience is really anyone who wants to be happy, anyone who wants to live better, smile more, play more, not be stressed, not be down, not be depressed, worried about anxiety. Like it's all about happiness and play. Like if you want to have fun in life, that's what I'm all about. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this unapologetically, and also be right within yourself. Like knowing like it's okay to be me. This is how I see the world. This is how I want to live. That's okay.
So don't you think that music is mostly channeling though?
Actually, yes. And the reason I say that is before I made the spiritually conscious music, I was receiving great lyrics, great egoic lyrics towards certain things. And even when I was writing them, I was like, ooh, where did that come from? So yes, I really think any form of creation is channeling. Like that's what we are. We're consciousness. We're channels are conscious holders. And so like that intention that we're putting out, that feeling that we're putting out, we channel everything from across the cosmos, across past, present, future, even though there's only present, but just across all times, like we attract that to ourselves, and it makes it easier for us to speak about it when we tune our frequency through focus.
I also feel like I've never had a musical idea that was in my own head. I don't feel like it ever started there,
Yeah.
Even performing and stuff. I don't know how it is for you, but I remember pretty much every time I performed and it was a great show, I just feel like something came down, tapped the top of my head, like boop. And, it was lights on,
Yeah.
and it's hard to explain that to people that don't do it,
It feels euphoric. Like I love the feeling after a show. Like it's you feel it when you're doing it, but it's more so after. Like it's hard to go to sleep after you had a good set. But the thing to be conscious of that I realized too early on is to give an authentic performance, you have to embody that which the song represents. So if you look at some artists, some great artists out there that may have died young, some of their music maybe represented low points, points that weren't necessarily that they enjoyed living through, but when they gave that performance, they had to embody that. And that could have led to them letting go of their bodies sooner than most. But it's important to know that, again, that what you put out there, to do it authentically, you have to embody it. So I'm very particular with how I craft the songs I make, so that when I do have to perform them, there's no negative energy nowhere to be found for anyone.
Tell me about some of the biggest challenges that you had to overcome in your life. Like what really have you done in terms of internal rewiring? Beliefs have you shed, things like that?
And I feel like I've shed all the beliefs. Like it's almost like every belief that I came across in my childhood life, my adult life kind of flipped it on its head. And before I answer that question, I'll say that it's almost like in this experience, we can experience like I said, we can experience anything, whether it's true or not. So the belief system that we have, we're going to experience that until we change that belief system. But I'll give you a quick example of something I shared. So I remember I came across my favorite quote in life: "Watch your thoughts, for they become your words. Words, actions, action, habits. Habits become your character. Character becomes your destiny." And that stopped me in my tracks. Like I looked at it, I studied it, and I was like, that can't be true. But it was true, and it continues to be true. And so I started looking at my beliefs and the things that I thought, and I saw ways that I was very insecure about certain things. I saw how I was untrusting about certain things. I saw the narrative that I was replaying about people, like they should do this or they should do that. I can't believe they're choosing this. Or I make myself the victim in my own head. Maybe I might not outwardly show it in words, but I just saw so much of that. And but also when I first heard that, I was like, okay, since I'm watching my words now, I'm watching my thoughts, I'm going to big up myself in every situation. I'm going to say that I'm great. I'm going to say that I'm powerful. I'm all of this. But the flaw that I had in that I didn't realize at the time until I came across A Course in Miracles was I can give that to everyone else as well. Like I can see everyone as wise. I can see everyone as powerful. And when I set myself apart from everyone, I'm creating that separation. And you can never be whole and complete when you feel separated from your environment, because in a way, your environment is just an extension of you. And just to give an example of that, as I changed and as I changed my perception of people, they changed. And I don't even know how to explain it. And I'm not saying that I'm like, I am the all powerful one that can affect reality, but I can affect my version of reality. And they change. Like I've had people that I've done forgiveness exercises for in meditation. They didn't know I was doing this for them. I was doing it for me. But a day or two later, they would call me and apologize, or something to happen and we'll just become closer. Or and what's crazy, some of the people I had to do the most forgiveness exercises on was family and friends, those closest to me, because you're close to them, you can't leave them in a sense, but that doesn't automatically mean you stop the judgments in your head unless you practice that. And I hadn't practiced that before, and I realized how many judgments I held for those that I claimed to love the most. And as I've learned, judgment is the opposite of love. Like we think hate is the opposite of love. Judgment is the opposite of love, because it deludes us into thinking we know enough to judge accurately, when again, if we did, we would always be happy. We would always be well off. We wouldn't have these concerns if we really knew as much as we try to trick ourselves into thinking. So yeah, it was a complete belief system shift. You could say I went through, just the normal things people went through. I can't say that anything super traumatic happened, but even if it did, I probably wouldn't say it here, because I wouldn't want to create that reality for myself again, or for anyone to picture and envision, because that can bring them closer to that reality as well.
Well, when it comes to friends and family, because you're so close to them, it's kind of your expectations that ruin it for you, and it's kind of like you're trying to say, okay, this person has to be how I want them to be for me, rather than just be who they are. And it isn't until you put these mindset shifts and, watch your thoughts and watch what you say and watch what you do in response, that you start to realize that it's actually a unique headspace to be in, to realize exactly the way that everybody is and still not actually judge them. You just see the person, you see the behavior, and you're like, yeah, that's not on me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but the thing too is, like, you can change that. Anyone can change that. So when I saw my thoughts and how I reacted to people, like you said, you're on autopilot. So you're not even aware that you think these things. I wasn't aware. And when this happens and you see it for what it is, you're like, oh man, like you it's easier to have more love for the person, because you realize they don't realize what they're doing. Like they're responding in such a way that they were taught, because they thought that was the best way to be. There was no mirror that showed them a better way. And once you realize you can be that better mirror, no matter what they're bringing you, even if they're bringing you the lowest of the lows, even if it has the negative of the negative energy, you can still transmute that, where either what will happen is they will raise their vibration to meet you where they at, or they'll find an excuse to just not be around you, and they won't even know why. Like I've had many people, many friends who said, man, I should have came to you earlier. Like you always have the right thing to say. But they was like, I didn't want to bring you down. I didn't want to bring you any negativity. And I remind them like, you cannot. There's no way you can bring me negativity because I'm gonna transmute that for you. I'm gonna shine my light so that you can see there is no darkness in you, and it makes it easier for them to shine their light as well. So that was another one of those shifts I made because there was a time when I was reactive to a lot of energies. But like you said, it takes practice, and you're not gonna do it right every time the first few times, but it will get better.
Yeah, man, it's true. It's kind of like that scene in The Matrix where Neo's dodging the bullets, right? It does feel like that a lot, which is hilarious. But when you think about it, I don't know if you would agree, but it doesn't necessarily get any easier. It just is something that you practice doing. So, the same way you're playing a tennis match and the ball is coming, you got to get from the baseline to where the ball is at, hit it and get back to baseline. That's what it's like, right?
But somewhat like it will get easier. So like, I'm glad you brought up the Matrix because that's the perfect example. He was dodging bullets, but then Morpheus said the time will come when you won't even have to dodge bullets. And it's like, you just see it and it will fall in front of you almost like how to, there's a quote in the Bible or something where they talk about how the demons fled from Jesus. I don't think it was necessarily a demon, assuming that story was true, but it was just that energy that they brought, like that energy, that darkness energy couldn't be around such a light that demon, flew by, and you could attune yourself so you can't be that. Now, you will have days where you go lower because it's the ebb and flow of things, but your baseline will continue to get higher and higher. So even your lowest lows would probably still be higher than most people's high even. And so it will get easier.
Yeah, well, I was saying to somebody just tonight, if you're going to be a boxer, you can't expect to get in the ring and not get hit at least once, right?
Yeah, I agree. Like that's the thing about fighting. Like I take martial arts. I enjoy martial arts, Taekwondo, but I do it for the art. I will never hurt anyone. I will never intentionally hurt anyone or do anything like that. And it's true. Like if you're a fighter, you fight, and fight is the opposite of peace. And again, I wholeheartedly believe that how you do anything is how you do everything because of the oneness principle. Like all is one. And so you bring out that version if you choose to be a fighter. That's not to say that it's a bad thing because some people, they want that. Some people, they like that. But if you choose the light, so to speak, you won't technically have to be in a fight. Like I've used these principles to get out of many altercations, but in a beautiful way where it was all love. Like I'll share. This is one of my favorite stories to tell because this was one of the ones where I tested A Course in Miracles to see if it was true. So at the time, I was playing basketball. I go there every Sunday, and I'm playing with another guy, talking stuff, going back and forth, talking a lot of stuff. But it's fun. My ego has a chance to play because I haven't let it play at this point. I didn't let it really play for that much, and so we going at it. Then he might have said something like very disrespectful, but again, I dodged it. I was just like, it is what it is. We just talking stuff. So I think I went for a rebound or something, and I might have accidentally caught him with an elbow, and it truly was accidental. He ran up on me. He's like 6'6", I'm 5'11". He looked down on me, and you just knew we were about to fight. You knew a real fight was about to come. So if I'm being honest, my first thought was, all right, if I sweep the leg, he's going to fall. I can hit him with a two-piece combo, and I'm leaving. I'm never coming back just because, I know the guys that I played basketball with, but I didn't really know them that well. So I don't know who's friends with who, anything. But all this went in my head that I'm never coming back to this court again after I do this. But then this is all happening in 1 second. Something stopped me. Not something. I was like, okay, I've been studying A Course in Miracles. I've been speaking this. I've been teaching it. I've been believing it myself. If this is true, if all is peace, all is love, all is one, I will be all right. And also, even if I'm not, even if something does happen, I'm not going to judge it because even that would be all right. So I dropped my guard. I looked at him, and not to say I was in hands position, but my defenses were up. But I dropped my guard and I looked at him with all the love that I could muster. And I don't even know how to even explain that, but I just looked at him with all the love I could muster. And one, in that point, he could have did anything, knock me out, everybody pointing and laughing, anything. But he said, you know what? I'm getting too serious. I'm going to check myself out of the game. He did. Somebody else came in, and me and him have been cool ever since. We still talk stuff a little bit, but even he jokes that I'm the most positive person in the world. But I mean, like we're real cool. And from then on, I knew that, okay, there's no reason to ever be in a conflict. There's no reason, because I can always bring love to this situation. And I've done it even in verbal conflicts when I felt that it was going there. I just pause, bring love to the situation, and all was well for everyone involved.
If you search on the internet for the things that people struggle with, a lot of it's how to actually implement this kind of stuff. So it's our job, having practiced it, to explain to people how to actually put this into place as much as possible.
Me, how I implemented this, because the way I am, like, again, I want to get to the truth as soon as possible. Once I have a thread, like that's what, again, A Course of Miracles was for me. It was that missing piece I was searching for. So I was like, I gotta really digest this. But when I realized that all is love, I was like, oh, and that one of our purposes is to forgive. The thought that came to my mind was, okay, well, if one of my purposes is to forgive, then stuff has to happen for me to forgive. And so I got into a sense where I was like, man, I can't wait to be triggered. Trigger me, do whatever you can. And it did happen. And so when it happened, of course, initially I was like, dang, but then I started to think like, okay, why did that bother me? Why am I so offended by that? Oh, there's something that I thought I was hiding from the world, and they saw me, and I'm mad that they exposed my the thing that I was hiding from. Or like, oh, I thought this of myself, and they exposed this. Maybe I don't really think this of myself, or this wouldn't have made me mad. Like if somebody said, JClay, you look like some marbles. Like that wouldn't affect me. I don't even know what that means. Like, but if they said something that I was a little insecure about, I would, get mad and want to fight and do all that. But what am I fighting for? I'm fighting for me to keep staying hidden, so to speak. But on the flip side, how I deal with others like that is, again, I bring love to the situation, because it's almost like I can see them shift. Like they relax a little bit. They're like, oh, okay, he's not judging me. He's not coming with anything extra. And it also allows me to say truth a little more. So it's kind of like, what is it? There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And one of the things that he talks about that's widely used is you start with a compliment first, and then you can go in deeper. But it's truly, it's not just that. Like you come with love, or you meet them where they at without going there. And so, okay, I have a song called Let Go, which is one of my biggest songs. And in it, I say, why you holding on? You don't need that. They just feeding BS super strong. You don't eat that. So right there, they're like, that's true. Yeah, I don't need this. I don't eat BS either. And so like they're already neutralized, and they're willing to hear everything else that I have to say. But if I just would have came on and said, you holding on to all this stuff, you need to stop, or you know what I mean? Like it's not well received, because I don't know you. I don't know what you're offering. I don't know anything about you. And it's almost like that love makes it known that, hey, it's safe to be here. And everything that's coming from me right now is love. And everyone understands love. That's what makes it so universal. It's the only universal thing. Like even fears, if I shared you some of my fears, you're like, I'm not scared of that. But if you share some of your fears, I'll be like, oh, I'm not scared of that. But love, you feel that love instantly, no matter who you are, because that's what we're made of. So yeah, if I can say anything, it's just that, like, don't take anything personally. Love doesn't take anything personally. Just be love.
Don't you feel now after all this time that like you don't even have that in you anymore though? Like you don't even have it. You just don't have that kind of energy in you anymore. It like you pushed it all out, and you're like, this person's going to want to get negative right now. I don't even have it. You just go automatically to, how can I diffuse this situation lovingly and get out of here?
And what's cool too, though, about it, like, because people know me now, if they're willing to bring me something negative, they know I'm going to bring them the positive. Like so much so they're like, well, can't you be on my side one time? I am on your side. That's why I'm giving you this positive info. So it's like, they already know in a sense, which is why I said some they're like, I don't even want to come to you with this right now, or I don't want to rant to you or anything, just because I'm just letting them know that it's okay. So then it becomes fun for me to have people bring what they perceive as negative, because it's like, okay, how can I? It's almost become a challenge, not a challenge, but a fun challenge. Like, how can I break through where they understand, or how can I plant a seed where they're just gonna get it one day, without leaving a bad taste in their mouth. I remember, I can't remember what book it was. It was some channel book from Jesus. They said, and they said, how do you know when you're enlightened? And he said, when everyone who just thinks a thought about you thinks peace. That blew my mind, because I was like, there's some people right now who I know for sure they don't think peace when they think about me. But it just puts things in perspective. Like, it's not about being, oh, I'm enlightened. It's about being and embodying that love, that peace.
It's just interesting to me how you're never not in this process of creation. And the more you learn to just see people and be like, okay, I'm going to listen and I'm going to observe and I'm going to see how this person is running their brush against the canvas and see, you know, and be like, hey, that look ugly as hell to me, but that's what people want. That's what the world actually requires a little bit more of, rather than everybody's opinion all the damn time. Like, that's what it is all the time, 24/7 now with social media. It's an opinion here and an opinion there. Don't eat this. Don't drink that. Don't walk this way. Don't wear those pants. And, you know, how would you counter that?
And so I had, that's one of the things I had to kind of overcome, like, because I was judgmental for a time of things that others did, of things myself did. On social media, it stopped me from maybe even creating, because I'm like, I'm not getting the views I want, and these people who I think aren't as talented as me are getting these views and just everything, and it plays with your head. But then you realize, like, others' success will never impede yours. Others' creation will never stop your creating. Like, creation is your birthright. Like you said, like, it's so natural to create because we are the embodiment of creation. It's akin to love and peace and joy and all those other things. And so I've been having fun even this past year, well, 2025, just being captivated by the different things people enjoy, no matter how different it, like I have a good friend, we send reels and stuff to each other, but the things she finds funny, I just don't find funny. And she doesn't react to the stuff I find funny. Every now and then we'll find something, which it doesn't stop us from sending stuff to each other. But just even that, I'm like, man, it's amazing that somebody created this for the intent to be funny. They have all of these views and comments, but I don't think it's funny at all. And again, that's not to say that I can pick what's funny, but I just know everything is different, but it's perfect. You know, like the things that you like and don't like, it's perfect, because you get to bring a new perspective to the world that no one else would have thought of, that no one else would have had. And it's okay for things to be different. It's okay for everyone to not understand you. It's okay for you to not love what's popular by everyone. But even though it's okay too as well. It's okay to love what's popular as well. And it's just being okay with yourself, no matter what's going on in the world, no matter what anyone says, just being true to yourself. And I'll say this one last thing about that. A good friend of mine had gave me some advice recently on social media, because like for a while, even I just didn't care for it. I care for it now. I kind of found my stride in doing what I enjoy in it. And I've been doing it, and they gave me advice. But they gave me advice from their perspective, which is natural. But I was happy, because old me would have started to doubt myself and doubt like my process, like, oh man, I gotta do this different. But how I'm choosing to do it, like, I love this. This is joy for me right now. And since it doesn't matter if nobody likes it. Like, I'm enjoying myself right now and what's coming up, because it is a form of creation. And I just want to remind everybody of that. Like, know why you're doing it, and it's better if you're doing it for the joy of it.
We all have multiples out there, people who reflect aspects of us that are going to come to us for our unique advice because it suits them. We've been through something that they've been through, or they see us and they see themselves in us. And so those are the people that, if we're creating for by extension, by doing it for ourselves, we're doing it for them too. It's not our responsibility to go around trying to fix other people or compete with other people. We just got to stay in our lanes and focus on that. And ultimately, whatever success we get from that, well, we got to live with that feeling of success first and foremost. It's not something that you create from the outside. If you then you're right back into that stupid game again, where you're trying to get the world to validate you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I guess where I'm at, like even to that with solving the world's problems or saving the world, um, I understand that giving and receiving are one. Like that, what you give, you receive instantly, vice versa. Like it's all one, cause and effect, all one. And you can almost say that me being like this is almost selfish because I want to be peaceful. I want to have all the love in the world. I want to be joyful. So I have to give that. Like if I want to be in that, because when I give it, I realize that I have it to give, and that what you have, you are. You get to be it. Like behavior is behavior. Like that's what you exemplify. And I want that. So I want that for myself. So I have to be willing to give that always. And I think of it like I'm planting seeds into every molecule of existence that I am coming in contact with, so that when it grows and blossoms, all there is love. And what's over there, I'm working my way there by getting what's closest to me. Like these are going to blossom, and what blossoms from this, others are going to see it that are way down there, way over there with the stuff, like you said, that I have nothing to do with. And they'll see the example and like, oh, there's a new way to be. Let me start being like that. And so we often think we need to go far away when we can just start with our community, the people we regularly talk to. We can give love there. We can give joy there. We can do what we can to make life easier for them so that they don't have to waste that energy with us. They can save it for the people farther away if they come in contact with them. But they can always have an easier life here. But then also with the whole saving the world thing, because I know people have that belief, like even superhero movies. I love superhero movies, but you think about like wanting to be saved. And when I think of wanting to be saved, I think of like a file on your computer. You save it, but when you save it in its current state. And a lot of times those who think they need to be saved are believed to be in a weakened state. And if you save them, you keep them in that weakened state, and they won't be able to realize the power that they have within to save themselves, to live the life that they want to live. So the goal shouldn't even really be to save the world from most people's eyes. It should be to just, like you said, just recognize others how they are without our judgment affecting it.
I've said on this show so many times, like differences actually exist to make us stronger, not to pit us apart. And so we get conditioned to think that because we're different, that we're supposed to be apart, right? And that's crazy to me. That's always been wild.
In college, so I never really cursed. Like, just I don't even know why. For whatever reason, I never really said curse words. But in college, my roommate cursed every other word, and I loved it. Like, it was funny. It was such an art. Like, he did it very artfully that I couldn't believe it. Like, how's he gonna, explain this situation? And he even had he had a little song he made out of curse words, and it was just funny to me. And you would think somebody who doesn't curse would be mad that why are you cursing around me, right? But not like it's like you said, those differences, it makes us stronger, and it makes us appreciate the other side and just see how beautiful it is. There are people I follow on social media that I don't want their life. I don't want anything to do with their life, but I just enjoy it. Like, I appreciate what they bring to humanity, and it's beautiful.
So what's the favorite collaboration that you've done?
Actually, it's probably with my best friend, which is one of the reasons why he's one of the reasons that I actually rap. And so whenever we can do something together, it's just more fun. Like, because I started off as a producer, and I used to just make funny songs that will make my friends laugh. And then he was one of the first ones like, man, you can kind of rap for real. You should take this seriously. But yeah, anything with him, his rap name now is Just Troy. So I think I have, like, he's on my newest album, and my previous album and just other stuff. But anything with him is fun because it's a friendly competition, but not really competition. Like we want both of us to do really well on the track, like go as hard as we possibly can, because we know it's just going to be that much better.
If there's anything else that you want to say, I guess now would be the time to say it. I've been doing that a lot on the show. I've just been like dropping that out there.
But the one thing I'll say, like my message right now is all about fun. Like have fun. Forget all the other serious stuff. Like even though the Joker in The Dark Knight was quote unquote a bad guy, why so serious? Like that's if you want to be more enlightened or just be more light, be more joyful, just have fun. Like do it just because it's fun for you. A lot of times when you get that inkling, like, ooh, I'm curious about this, or, ooh, I should do this today. Like, I truly believe that that's God communicating with you right now saying, do that. But then we try to, what is it? We work it away by saying, oh, but I gotta go to work today. I gotta do this. I can't do this right now. That's crazy. People will look at me differently. It's like, no, follow that impulse because it's a loving, joyful impulse. And when you follow it, it's going to open so many doors for you. And yeah, that's what I would definitely say is continue to have fun, play.
It's true. It's true. I was laughing when you were talking about the superhero movie too, because if you check it, like Superman, he's portrayed as a good person, right? But then when he's trying to save people, he destroys so much stuff. It's like, who's paying for this? It's like, who's fixing this stuff if he's got to save something every day? So you can't be like that too. Like you got to realize that everything is dualistic, and you know sometimes you want to make stuff better, but you might make it worse. So you got to really know yourself and pay attention.
Yeah, everything is not for you to fix or at that time. Like everything is not, every advice that you have is not meant for you to give at that moment. Like you said, like it's all about listening and even listening to the spirit within you, to the higher self, to the God consciousness, the Christ consciousness, infinite love, whatever name you want to give it. Like pause and listen to that, and you will be directed always on, okay, should I say this right now? Should I not say this? Should I just be and listen? Like as long as you follow that, you will always make the right decision.
Fantastic. Well, JClay, thanks for being on the Boundless Authenticity podcast. For people who ask me all the time if a lot of mainstream music isn't good for my mental health, what should I listen to? And here's your answer, man. JClay, go for it. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, you can find me on all the platforms where music can be streamed: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music. My website is jclay.org. So just jclay.org. I have both physical albums for sale, like actual old school CDs on my website if you want something tangible, and downloads there as well. Yeah, but everything's on jclay.org. If I do coaching as well. And yeah, and I love to collab with great music artists. So yeah, even me and you, we can do something.
Yeah, I'd be up for it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thanks for being on Boundless Authenticity.
Thank you.
You're listening to the Boundless Authenticity podcast, where we discuss everything related to the evolution of human consciousness.
At the very least, people need to understand that the United States builds bunkers, which are basically cities underground, every 3 months.
Basically, when you dream, you tap into your subconscious. It is your nocturnal intuition, your creativity and imagination unchained from conscious reason, ego and logic.
They're biologically alive, but they have no soul. They have AI consciousness. They can alter your conscious of the brain to get in the brain.
We live in a multidimensional reality. Whether it comes through esoteric information in the spiritual realms, or the UFO people, experiencers, or mainstream through quantum physics and through mainstream science now realizing that parallel dimensions probably exist.
We're all spiritual beings. We're all having these human experiences. We've heard that phrase over and over and over. But what does that really mean?
You know, all the big questions of life, we have these answers inside of our soul.
We're ultimately studying the nature of what it is to be human, good and evil, our psychology, how we think, and our health. That's why I love Bruce Lee's great quote, all knowledge is ultimately self-knowledge.
The Boundless Authenticity podcast.